Getting started. It is officially 6 o'clock, so we're going to call the meeting to order. We are approving the May minutes. They were in our newsletter. Did everyone receive their copy? Most of us? Okay, fantastic. Do I have an motion to approve the minutes as listed in the newsletter?
So approved. So done. Rosemary Muller.
Thank you, Rosemary. Okay, and a second. Thank you, Mary. And all in favor?
Aye.
Fantastic, love it. All right, moving right along to committee reports. Treasury.
The checking account balance as of June 1st is $9,916.60. We had deposits for memberships that month. And also news was I got the insurance statement for our insurance bill, the annual bill. And I changed the address now to reflect, okay, Tulsa Library. And they asked how big our group is, and we had just received the membership list. It was just put out recently, 106, so that's the number I used to. Okay.
Excellent.
So that got updated as well. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you.
Can we have a discussion about this?
Sure.
Why would we hold $9,000 in a checking account and not have something in a savings account? I don't recommend moving it to CDs, but check to see where you're at and at least start generating something off that.
I think that's an excellent idea. I am not in charge of the treasury, but we can absolutely discuss that. Kathy, do you have any thoughts on that as our interim treasurer?
Well, no, but I do know that personally, I just opened a 5-month CD at 5%, so
Please.
we could do, I mean, it's a CD, but we could do something.
All right, so what do we think of as a group membership here on potentially opening a short-term CD? Mary?
I'm wondering to what end?
I think just compounding some of the interest.
I know, but why are we holding on to $9,000 and not doing something with it versus making more money off of it to do what? I mean, we're not a corporation.
Mhm.
So, maybe we have $9,000. Is there a scholarship that we can fund? Is there something
Absolutely.
we could do with it since we have so much versus why are we sitting on it?
Okay, yeah, I love that thought as well, yes.
So is this over and above what the budget is being spent on the budget, right? This is,
So this is just what we have in our treasury.
so then is there still things that have to be paid if that's in the budget? So how much, I guess my question then would be is how much extra is there with all the budget items? When you take all that out, all your expenses, how much is left?
So after the election in July of new board members, new chair people, we will have those committee chairs and the board get together to talk about what their budget is going to look like for the upcoming year. And I think we'll be able to make a more informed decision after that.
Then maybe we should table this until then.
Well, I think we can move to CDs. We can move to CDs and money market right away. And then decide if we're gonna give scholarships or do something else down the road.
Just to explain, historically, there was a time when we had to pay rent for our meeting space. And as membership dwindled, it became more and more difficult to do that until the treasury was spent down to zero. Now we have made it a policy to always meet in places where they're not charging us. And the money we built up as a reserve against rent has pretty much stayed around 9,000 or 10,000 for the past 8 or 9 years. So that was the reason for building up the treasury, was because we were worried about not being able to afford rent.
And rent was rather expensive. It was over $100 a meeting.
Sure. And I absolutely understand that historically that has some validity, but I think that as our membership is growing now, and now that we're meeting in a place that does not charge us anything, that's not as much to consider. So thank you for the the historical background there, Molly.
I would like to table this suggestion until the new board is installed, because for us to be making decisions before the committee chairs have a chance to put in for the budget, we could have a 3-month CD till we get to that point, but I don't know if we want to be making monetary decisions without a new budget.
Well, and without Kathy has been doing a wonderful job as interim treasurer, but it's also not something she wants to continue doing. So I hate to dump that on her at the end of the year.
Yeah, because we're not
Yeah.
incorporated, it would be in her name.
And every time you get a new
I also
treasurer,
agree
all
that-
that has to be changed.
Sorry.
I also agree that we should table this until
Okay.
table the entire discussion until the new board is set.
Okay. Thank you.
Are we a 501(c)(3)?
Not yet.
No.
We would like to do that when we have a treasurer who's, actually volunteered to do that instead of being stuck into that position. So we do have an interest in that, but we have some people to talk to sort out exactly what that entails.
Because if that's the case, we're not in it for profit then.
Right.
We're not, but we are.
No,
not-
I know, I'm
Right.
just saying
But
though.
until we first you have to incorporate, then you have to apply for nonprofit tax status. And we are not incorporated. If anybody knows a lawyer that would volunteer time to talk with us. The last time I formed a corporation, we had to pay the state $100 for the privilege. I don't know what the rate is now.
It's still
That's-
about $100.
Yeah, I think that's about right.
And we have plenty of money to do that, so.
Yes.
Right, you
Yeah.
get $9,000.
Yeah, that's something that's been on me as well, as we have this giant treasury right now that we are not doing anything with. And I've been thinking for a long time that we do need to do something with that. But since our treasurer stepped down pretty early and Kathy has graciously taken in the interim, I don't want to stick her with extra work after she's already very generously dedicated and volunteered her time just to do, the basics of that job. So adding on this extra heavy lifting is something I'd rather do with a treasurer who's actually wanting to continue to be the treasurer, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we have a motion and a second to table this discussion until we have our board elected and seated. Is that, let's take a vote on that. So all in favor of that? Wonderful. Looks like, anyone opposed? Fantastic. Okay. All right. So that is treasury. Charity. Our current charity chairs are not in attendance for this month or next month's meeting. They did request that you send any donations that you may have to our future co-chairs, hopefully. They're being nominated tonight, Lisa and Nicole. So if you have anything to donate, then please see Lisa and Nicole. They will get it to where it needs to be.
That's us.
All right. Education, we don't have a current chair for, so we'll pass over that one. Membership.
We have 38 members tonight and 3 new guests.
Okay, fantastic. And can we introduce our new guests? Welcome them.
Yeah. Do you want to stand up as I call your name? Jay Waters
Jay.
and Jay
Hello.
Irvin
Welcome.
and Kay Cherney. Torney.
Okay, very nice to meet you all. We're glad you're here.
Are you all sisters or friends? No, just friends.
Fantastic. That is wonderful. Thank you.
We have another question going back to the treasurer's report. What do we have insurance for if we're not incorporated?
That's a good question.
Liability
I don't know.
insurance.
For what
For
reason?
who?
In case someone's injured at a meeting, I would guess.
Liability is.
Well, whose name is that in?
If you're not,
The
incor-
knitting
In the
guild.
guild.
you're not.
We are officially a club, even though we don't have any legal status.
And
So
who do we
somebody
have our
could
insurance
sue
through?
each of us individually as club members. So that's protection against being sued if someone is injured.
So who do we buy that insurance through? What agency?
West End.
Okay, that's who we.
When we were at Hales Corners,
Yes.
that was part of,
The requirement.
it was required for us to
Okay.
have that
Okay.
for our pre-status.
That makes sense.
Okay,
Yeah, because if something happened, I would guess that.
so it was a requirement to use the
Because most
space.
places, even my husband's hand radio has to have their own insurance.
Okay,
Okay,
Wherever they need it.
all
all
right.
right, thank you. All right, program.
In this case,
Next month, we have Sarah Wong is coming to speak to us. She's a patent attorney. So all of you people that have done patterns and want to put them on Ravelry and talk about how to sell, she will talk about the process of protecting yourself so that you can sell your patterns. It was part of the survey that many people asked about it. And then August is our picnic. Next month, I'll have a sign-up sheet for everybody to sign up if they want to bring something to pass. I'm still looking for volunteers to help for setup and tear down. And anybody that would want to help with grilling, either yourself or a significant other or a partner, somebody that would help. And then we will be having, Susan from Fiber Arts is coming to talk to us about a dyeing program, and she is gonna dye. That's why we're having Let me just finish. She's gonna dye yarn. And, that's what I'm saying. I don't have a location yet. August meeting.
So second Tuesday of August.
August meeting, the August meeting. August date.
August 8th, in case anyone didn't catch that.
I'm looking for a park, I don't have a location yet, we want to be outside, she's dying yard, we don't want to do this. Just wanted it outside.
Yes.
Find out. Does she need electricity? Because I've seen people in their dying yarn, they use like a, crock pot. So let's find out if we have electricity where we end up.
I got it off of the
Yeah. Okay.
I thought there was an event going on. Okay, because I think that's why we thought, that was one of the ideas, but then we thought there was something else. So, we have a location. Where? So it'll be in the parking lot of Cream City Yard.
Excellent.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for donating that space.
Yes. So I'll talk to you more about it.
All right, fantastic. Anything further on programs? Any questions or discussion we need?
I only have 2 show and call signups. There's still one more available. Any takers?
No, explain this for us that are.
Oh, so there's a sheet that you can fill out. So anything that you made, you come up in front, we do 3 a meeting. Come up in front and introduce you off your little card and you show what you made. And tell who made the pattern, where you got the pattern from, what kind of yarn, yada.
Bringing it back to kindergarten.
And that's every meeting?
That's every meeting.
That's for the next week.
It'll be for the next meeting.
Where do I get it?
They'll be at the front table every meeting, they come in and sign it, you unless you're recording. Oh my God. Anybody else, any questions?
But I have to say, I have enjoyed your program this year.
Thank you.
Being new, I think we've prepared
Yay. She's worked incredibly hard to put all this together.
Kelly, who does events, and myself will be doing a survey probably maybe September, I think. We'll pass them out for you to decide to give us an idea about what programs you did like, what you didn't like, what you'd like to see for the upcoming year. So we'll keep rolling it forward to see what we can help.
Okay.
Any other questions? Yes.
Can you or anybody speak to the Knitting Public Day at the library on Saturday?
Oh, yeah.
I cannot speak to that.
So, next up is events. So if you wanna, if we wanna report on that in
Kelly can
events.
do that.
Okay. All right, so events.
I'm Kelly, thank you for everybody who came out, it was a lot of fun, and I think, community members liked it. And thank you, so basically, we just had, South Shore Cyclery was nice enough to let us use, they have a knitted, bicycle. So I got that over, so, fun, and we have some other little things. Kind of fun stuff.
Can you tell us again where you were? I'm sorry.
At Cudahy Library.
Yep, thank you.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it was a good time for everybody. And we do have some upcoming events. July 8th will be community knitting at Lost Sheep. And that will start at 1, and their store closes at 3. So if you want
Where is this at?
It's in Sheboygan. If you want to shop it all beforehand.
Lost sheep, you said?
Lost Sheep in Sheboygan.
Sheboygan, yeah.
A little bit of a road trip.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And then,
Should we arrange carpools?
yeah, definitely.
I think that can be arranged kind of amongst
Yeah.
folks' selves.
I'll put something on Facebook.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah. And then, the 20th, we have, just social living during, concerts in the garden at Gardens, I can't say that word. Burner. It's in Greendale, I think it's.
Burner Botanical Gardens.
Yeah.
Yes, Burner Botanical.
Burner Botanical Gardens.
So say this one again, this next one is.
The next one, did you get the last one? Yeah, that one. Just knitting, social knitting during concerts in the garden at Burner Garden.
Burner Botanical
Yep.
Gardens.
Burner.
What date was that again, Kelly?
Mayor.
Or was it 29th of July, I think, right?
It's up on Facebook too, I think, so
Yeah.
if anyone needs
Yeah.
that information.
And then August 29th at 6:15, Monday at the Musical Mondays, which is at Lake Park. Down on the lakefront, and concerts are free once on church.
To make a suggestion.
Yeah.
If you haven't been to the concerts at Whitnall Park in the gardens, you know, bring your own chair or blanket, something you're comfortable sitting on. There's food, there has been many years in the past now that Samory sells like Italians and Italian beef and whatever, and whatever it is, cheese, beer, and wine. But you can bring your own, lots of people bring a big picnic and have, you know, a whole fancy setup. And my other suggestion is, if you, and I know it's hard to get helium balloons, but since we don't have some big
Right.
knitting,
Yeah,
I've got a nice,
Yeah.
quilted banner, but maybe if you could think ahead of time. of
Oh,
something
yeah. Could knit one up real quick.
as a standard, because there's thousands of people there.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can find
Okay, so I
something to
just
use as a
want to
standard.
buy
one.
Italian, did you say?
Yeah.
That's what's dying. Because I'd rather buy Italian.
Okay,
I already have an Italian.
anything further from events?
No. Oh, and, Molly has agreed to help me. If anybody has any ideas, let us know. And
Fantastic.
kind of new to it all, so.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Kelly. Publicity newsletter, anything from them? Okay, not so much. State Fair, any updates on State Fair? Oh, there is an update on State Fair, yes.
Yeah, August 3rd through August 13th, the State Fair. I just got an email today from Carol Black, and we want volunteers. What you do, when you volunteer, you get the free ticket to get into State Fair, plus a parking pass. And you knit for about 3.5 hours in the sheep barn with wool, because they're promoting the wool of the fleece and sheep and goats and all the animals. So you come and you just sit and knit in the little alcove. There's benches there, you can bring your chair. But what we want to do is get, like, when the parents go into the shop, to shop for whatever mittens or look at the articles in the shop, the kids oftentimes are outside there with us before you go into that little area. And we bring to try to net and hit a few stitches, or, this is the spinners are there with their spinning wheels. There's some drop spindle spinners too. And they show the kids that here's what the sheep go into, here's the rolling, makes the yarn, and here's how the knitters knit it up. It's fun, the kids like it. I've oftentimes gotten kids interested in knitting. Sometimes they've even had little stories about children that are quite talented in knitting. But I need volunteers, and so I'm gonna pass around a sheet. Just give me your name, and your email address, and if you can pin down a date and I wrote Thursday through Sunday. If you have a certain date or a morning or afternoon you like, let me know. I can, if I have your email address, I can email you then, and I can get the further information, because I'm going to need your address, because your ticket is mailed to your home. So I'll need further information.
Could you give me the date again? Sorry.
August 3rd
Thank
through the 13th.
Thank you.
Thursday through Sunday.
Is there a certain time blocks that you're looking at?
Yeah,
I
I'm
work.
looking at from 10 to 1, 30 about, and 1 to 5.
Okay.
So I need a little time.
All
Any
right.
questions?
Okay. Excellent, thank you. And website committee, I know there's been some stuff going on.
Anybody want to hear?
What do you want to do? You want me to?
I can do it if you want me to.
Yeah, it doesn't make a big difference. Go right ahead.
All right, Karen, thank you.
So, hi, we've been in discussions with the woman that, we were considering hiring. There's been some, concerns regarding her, so we've decided at this point we're still going to be doing the website, but we have some other ideas as far as how that's going to get done. We have a group that we've created on Facebook for the website committee. If anybody else is interested in joining that, if they want to have discussions on, what sort of design we're going to do, basically I'm going to be setting it up. So we'll see how that goes. There are some free hosting sites, and my neighbor is also going to be helping, but free versus paying someone $1,000 to do it makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah.
Especially when we were a little uncomfortable with some discussions that we had with her. So that's where we're at. So it'll still be done, but.
Yeah, it's still gonna be done for sure. I think what we really felt like is there was concerns with communication, with her, concerns with the manner of communication and some of those kinds of things. Just some red flags that made us say, maybe we don't wanna pay. Maybe we aren't quite ready to just send the checks. Actually, this just came up yesterday with some of these things, so it was a quick, quick thought and kind of decision that the committee got together and had to say, let's put the brakes on for right now. If we have red flags before we pay her, then probably it's not a good idea to send that money. I did, let her know with the email correspondence that we were gonna talk as a committee, and let her know about going forward. I think we probably made the decision that we are not going to go forward with her. No check has been sent yet, so we're okay on that. And then it's put our heads together, I think, put the heads together and come up with a plan for moving forward.
I do agree with some of the things that I read that she listed last night. We've got, we've got a minor Facebook presence. I think that needs to be, not revamped, but maybe have some regular things going out there.
Mhm.
We should also have a Ravelry account and Instagram account.
Yes.
We do have an
Probably not
Instagram
TikTok.
We have an Instagram account, we have a Ravelry group.
Okay, see, that's,
And we have a Ravelry group.
okay,
Oh, did
so
that.
yeah, we should
advertise that.
Yeah, I agree.
It could be something to go in the newsletter every month.
Yes.
And this is one of the things too with our moving into a new cycle of officers and chair people. That one of the things we've talked about is separating newsletter and publicity and having, and looking for someone who is interested in volunteering as a chairperson for the publicity committee. And
And upkeeping that Facebook, Instagram,
and
social media
that's
stuff.
their job, as opposed to hooking it onto other people and kind of piecemealing it
Yep.
together.
Yeah, I think that's great.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, no, I agree, and I think, there's been some preliminary work and she had some ideas we can definitely.
Yeah.
Use.
Yep.
So, that's where we're at.
All right.
That's the question. I'm not super literate about this, but I can use Facebook. And Molly, I noticed your, whatever it was, blast on Facebook yesterday where you detailed more about what you're gonna be doing tonight and what we could possibly bring to help the process for ourselves. But then when I went back to look for it, I couldn't get to it, couldn't bring it up again.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a weakness of the Facebook platform, and that's.
Unless you pin things to the top, they tend to get lost. So that is definitely a downfall of that. So that's another reason we need someone to run that publicity. And they can be in charge of doing things like pinning to the top of the page important things like our next meeting location or, our next program information. They can pin that until that is no longer applicable, and they can unpin it so that gets lost in the shuffle again. But that is kind of its own job that needs upkeep. So.
And one person doing Facebook, Instagram, Ravelry, one person putting out, information.
Yeah.
I was just thinking, being that I'm, working as the chair for the website committee, and I'm very familiar with these things. I mean, unless somebody opposes or somebody else really wants to do it, I'd be more than happy to start it out for now.
Love that.
Nominating committee heard you.
Yeah. Lisa's on it.
Thank you.
The other thing I just want to mention is, I think that Facebook, a lot of people are going off Facebook, I think. But one of the things is that I get information like a day late on Facebook, or I don't get it at all.
Yep.
And I have my notifications up, and I have everything's supposed to happen. And it's frustrating. Instagram seems a little bit more
Yeah.
easier that way. But I find the same thing though, is that when you try to go back, it's very difficult to find it. So sometimes you can go to your groups and try to do it that
That's
way.
what I tried.
And sometimes it doesn't stay.
Sometimes I save it into my saved things and it's not there.
Take a picture.
Yeah. Yep. Screenshots. And we do share these in multiple places too. So like if you're looking for an event, it will be on Facebook, but it'll also be in our newsletter, 98% of the time. So keep an eye out on all of,
Everything on Instagram, everything that's been posted, which I think doing.
Right.
Sorry.
But it stays.
Yes,
It stays
and
on that.
we're trying to keep on top of our Instagram as well to make sure that all of our events get carried over there as well. So we're doing our best, but it's also a small group of us. So that's why we'd eventually like, somebody to take that over from us. Okay.
So can I ask a question?
Yes.
Since we've decided not to go with a person for the website, do you have some ideas of other?
They are kicking around some ideas. My understanding is they're kind of brainstorming. They've got a couple of backup plans and they will decide on one.
Okay, well, one I can recommend is to look at GoDaddy. You can look at the Shorewood Women's Club website, that's done on GoDaddy. I think we pay $176 a year.
Yeah, GoDaddy's a good option.
And
Wix
Simple.
also.
I don't run it, but that's what I've been told.
That is one I've considered, yeah.
And I can't get to my husband right now, but his was just set up last year on another one, completely different, that allows people to do more things than GoDaddy does.
Yeah, GoDaddy, Wix, Squarespace, all of them are feasible options.
You said Wix?
Wix, W-I-X.
Yes, that's the one he's on, and it's very satisfying.
So, and they all offer different kind of levels of what you need. So they will cost, more depending on what you need done and what you need to have available. But I'm sure our website committee can figure that out.
Yeah.
Karen,
I'm sorry.
my daughter is a computer science major, recent, and she recommends you start with something like a word test, which she could have.
Nice.
And she
love
can
that.
practice.
Nice.
Yes.
Fantastic. Okay.
You should be a consultant.
This does her phone.
Sure, no problem.
All right. I think we can move on. After that, we're on to old business. Committee expansion. Some of our committees are still looking for committee members to try to even out that workload instead of having the chairs do all the things. So take a look at our committees, their descriptions. If any of them interest you, please go talk to those chair people because they would love to help. And I think we're still looking for a chair, a leader for our education committee. So if anybody is very passionate about education and teaching others our craft, please step up and be the chair for that committee, because we have some interest in folks who want to participate in that committee, but not yet someone who's like, yes, I will take charge of this. So if you are interested and a take charge person, that would be great. Other old business, Jeanette Budge, who we've been talking about the last couple of months in meetings, she had asked if we wanted her to give a talk on Fair Isle knitting. But then she narrowed down her dates of availability to 2 days, and we were having some difficulty finding a location that would work for our possibly 75 people. So we did wind up emailing her, contacting her that was not going to work because it was getting into crunch time, and we had not yet pinned down a location. So Mary and I decided that we would like to, talk with her maybe next time she's in the area when we have a little more flexibility and date flexibility to work with her. So just so you know, that will not be happening. Any other thoughts, things, old business from last meeting that we need to expand upon before I move into new business? Yes.
I was just going to say that as a person who went to Stitch and Pitch through Cream City, it was awesome.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you for bringing that up.
In previous year, about 8 years ago, I threw out my first pitch at Stitch and Pitch, so I can appreciate that.
I love that. Okay, well, that is fantastic. I hope everyone who went to Stitch and Pitch enjoyed themselves. I saw some great pictures, so I'm glad that it was a great event.
I have a quick question. Can you bring any community at ball games regularly?
Not typically, no.
How long has that been in?
No idea. I don't baseball, so.
Since they started having like the detectors and stuff at the doors.
Because I brought my knitting needles in with those things too, so I just don't know.
It might depend on who's sending you through, but it is their official policy to not let them through. So that's why we have a special entrance.
No stabbing things is the general policy.
Well, and the other problem you have is you can only carry in something that's this big, and it has to be clear. So I don't know how much you're gonna get when you can only carry in something very small.
Socks.
Mittens, baby hats, baby hats.
There you go. Okay. All right, moving on to new business. Nominations are my only new business that I have on the calendar this time. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Molly.
For those of you who had not heard, XRX went bankrupt. There will never be another Stitches event.
Yes.
And I'm going to ask that any of you who know a vendor that had planned to be there or a teacher who planned to be there, that's a lot of lost income for them, please purchase from them, support them.
Yep. Okay. All right. So new business, we have nominations on the board tonight. So our nominating committee, I think you get to stand up and nominate.
Okay.
In the middle of a row?
My first year as president doing this, so sorry, I don't know if that's the correct procedure, but there you have it.
It's behind you.
Oh, you You got too excited writing down that new one.
Yikes. Okay,
Why
so,
don't you go to the front?
oh, sure.
Use your big kid voice.
All right. For president, nominating Lauren Hackerott.
I accept.
Okay, vice president, Jenna Horde, who is in Canada.
She also accepts.
Okay. Secretary, Colleen Ferrix.
I accept.
Okay. Treasurer, Angie Herbs, who is, new.
Yes, and I don't see her.
Okay.
So she is interested. She has expressed interest multiple times. So hopefully we'll, I guess, double check with her.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so that is the officers.
Correct. Yes.
Okay, and now committee chairs. We have website Karen Ubelacker.
You win the prize.
Nicely done.
Programs, Mary Vitrano.
Except,
Okay.
that's all right.
Go back out. Membership is Mary Sherwood and Pat Clappa. Yes, okay. State Fair, Karen Lemmer.
Yeah.
Great, thank you. Charity is Nicole Anderson and Lisa Luziak. That's me. Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
I do.
That's the wrong ceremony for you. Newsletter, Erica Strabel. Erica's not here.
Seemed to have made it tonight. She has made it the last few meetings.
Yes, okay.
She has emailed confirmation of that. So.
Okay, email confirmation is good. Public relations, Karen Ubelacher for public relations, which would be like Instagram, Facebook, and okay, okay.
And actually, we're co-chairs for the website.
Oh, what's your first name?
Sally, no, it's Cheryl now.
All right, and then education is currently open. Anyone interested?
Kind of a small attendance tonight. Maybe we'll get
Yeah.
more in the next
Okay.
meeting.
It is open. And there's already people who are helping on that committee. And then events is Kelly Droyson. All right. And then the nomination committee, I'll just put me, so I know what to do for next year. Thank you for your patience.
Name.
What?
What's
your name?
Oh, I'm Lisa Luziak.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Lisa.
Yes, you bet. All right, okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you, nominating committee, for getting together and then your interim time and talking and figuring that out.
Nomination team was Mary Sherwood and Julia Azari.
Yes, so thank you very much. We appreciate that. And next month will be the actual election. So you get to decide whether or not these are people that you want representing you. So, and then you get to vote. So, all right. I can't think of any new business, but also my brain is mush. So if anyone has something that I'm forgetting, speak now or forever hold your peace. Yes.
You had asked me to do some changes with the bylaws. Can I bring that to the next meeting, or do you want me to do that at the beginning of the year?
Let's do that at the beginning of the year.
Okay.
I think that gives us some time to kind of talk things over with the new board too, and yeah. Yes, and then we can take a vote on it when that's all firmified. Anything else?
So that's September.
Sorry?
Is it gonna be like September?
Yes, September is the first meeting of the year, the new year. Anything else that I am forgetting? Yes.
Can I just ask, I thought a decision had been made to have the program first and then the meeting, what is that?
Yes. I think that what we had decided was that if it is a guest speaker, then we'll do that. Since Molly is our presenter tonight and she has to be here for the meeting anyway, then we're gonna make her sit through it. So there.
But it was also, Wade from the Alpaca guys said
Thank
he
you.
thought that would have worked, because he sold stuff. Right. So how would he would have to be here for the meeting anyway, because he's gonna sell stuff. But it
So
doesn't matter.
we did this the month after he came with another presenter who had things to sell.
Yeah.
And what we did was we gave everyone like a 15-minute intermission, and then we started the meeting, and if they were still buying things, then they were still buying things, and but we started things and got things rolling. So that seemed to work okay last time. If anyone was there, do we think that was okay?
An Icelandic sheep.
Yes. Yeah. Did that work okay for everybody?
Yes.
Okay, so I think we'll continue doing things that way, where if it's a guest speaker, we will do their presentation first and the meeting second. That way they don't have to sit through an hour-long business meeting. Okay, anything else that I'm forgetting? Yes.
I would just like to make a suggestion that for committee chairs, that if you could ahead of time send your report that you're going to give verbally to the reporting person, it just makes it so much easier versus you're going, what those dates are? What is this? Because there's a lot of chatter that's in this room.
Mm-hmm.
And then she really, actually, it's going to save her a ton of time, because she could just cut that out of your
Yes.
email and put it right into the
Right
minutes,
there.
and then only ad lib any additional
Mhm.
discussion, because it allows her to really listen then to the additional pieces,
Mm-hmm.
and it will make it much easier on her.
She can also put in motion and then seconded.
Yes.
and
Yep.
all in there already, so then
Correct.
she just has to put in names.
Correct. It makes it a lot more that she can enjoy the meeting.
Yeah.
It would help a lot. If you're able to do so.
Yes.
And if you could not, she could see your notes and she could just take a snap with her camera, with her phone. It just would be, it's just nice.
I
If
agree.
you've ever had to take minutes for a meeting, you'll understand.
Yeah, absolutely agree.
That would be helpful.
Thank you. All right, anything else? All right, do we have a motion to close?
So moved, Molly.
Thank you, and seconded, Judy? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed?
Eat. You just kidding.
Okay, well, still passes.
Okay, so tonight's program is Molly, but first we're gonna do the show and tell. The show and tell, so Jack, Ellen? Ewan? I'm sorry? Ewan? Okay.
All right. I just thought this would be really informal, so I didn't know what I was getting into.
It is informal.
So I made the boogie floor.
Ladies, can you be quiet so we can hear? Sorry.
I'm not gonna say anything important, I promise. I made the boogie floor,
I love
beanie out of Jameson Smith 2-ply, jumper weight, whatever they say. That was the Shetland Wool Week hat for this year. And I made for the Brewers game. I had this old Brewers sock yarn that I purchased years ago. And I decided I should machine knit a piece for that, so it'd be real fast moving. So obviously, it was cold out on the day of the event, so I